Coming again, dude. Up at Monarch Crest, it's about 11,000 feet. Monday, spent, what was it, 2 days in town, just waiting for this snowstorm to pass. And now it's mostly over. It's 16 degrees right now. Actually, it doesn't feel that bad. It's not that much snow on the ground, a couple of inches. And it's not windy, so that's a big thing. The wind will really suck the heat away from your body. I've got 3 layers on top, 2 layers on the bottom. Feel okay moving right now. Yeah. Next stop will probably be Creede. With the weather like this, it's supposed to drop down to the teens, single digits at night, and the San Juan Mountains, southern San Juans, would have got a lot more snow. So probably much safer. Take the Creede alternate, skip the southern San Juan Mountains, because all of that is like 12,000 feet, steep, exposed ridge walks, and yeah, one slip and you're gonna fall hundreds of feet down the side of an icy mountain. Got waterproof socks on.
I'm LiQWYD from Germany. My trail name is Walkie-talkie. I don't have a walkie-talkie and I'm not talking all the time, but because of my last name, Tolkmid. Yeah.
What are you doing out here?
Hiking the Continental LiQWYD Trail, and it snowed a lot. Well, I actually have not that much experience with snow, but I love it, and I hope we don't need micro spikes or ice eggs. And with the fresh snow, I hope it's not too scary and dangerous.
It's really not as cold as I was afraid it was going to be. Yeah, not bad at all. Being able to keep moving. Should be sunnier next 2 days as well. These drifts though, some are ankle deep, calf deep, pretty slow going. Lots of effort. But still, this is better than the AT, just because the AT was so damn steep. There was so much more ice. It's really gorgeous. I like this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's when things get really hard and gnarly. I like that kind of stuff. It makes me invigorated and excited. Pretty bored with, like, I don't know, the latter half of the PCT, because at least in the beginning there was all that challenge of the extreme heat, and then the CDT so far has It's been pretty boring. You know, a lot of the trees have lost their colors. So this, as weird as it sounds, I like this better than boring, easy hiking. But also, because this will only last 10 days, 2 weeks at the most. If it was 1,000 miles of this, I would not be nearly as enthusiastic. Pretty incredible. It's a little HE style shelter. It's the only one like this on the CDT. Ice, 1 gallon water bottle. This big old moose right there. I'll try and get closer to it. Still pretty hard to see, but there he is. Getting closer. Doesn't seem too interested in moving. Hey moose. Hey buddy. You can smell him from here, or her. It's been snowing just a little bit, off and on for the last 2 hours. A little bit warmer now that I'm off those ridges. There's like 8 miles of being up at 11,500, 12,000 feet. And that wind, when it's 17 degrees out, just cuts right through you. So the wind chill is probably close to zero, if not negative. Gonna go stay at this snowmobile cabin up here. Be a short day, but tonight's gonna be the coldest night of the next couple, so being able to be inside and maybe even be able to have a fire. I remember they have a wood stove inside there, so that'll be nice. Definitely feels less dangerous now that I've dropped down to maybe 10,000 feet. A lot less snow on the ground. Man, it's exhausting. Just blazing trail through calf deep snow. Probably 20 to 40% extra energy for every step. Here's the snowmobile cabin. It's open for hikers to use. Yeah, still snowing a little bit. Like I could go a little further tonight, but yeah, when it's this cold and it's snowing and there's snow on the ground, and you've got a place that you can sleep inside, that's what I'm gonna do. Here's the cabin. Oh, is that a wood burning stove? I don't know what kind of stove this is. Yeah, but it's already like 20 degrees warmer inside, so yeah, this will be nice. Is any of the wood touching?
Not really. Yeah, a little bit this one.
Looks really cool. Let's go in now. I got the fire going. It is so much warmer. Walkie-talkie, what are your thoughts?
It's amazing. I love it.
These are fresh mountain lion tracks. Pretty large. Got an earlier start today because the cabin is warm, so it's easier to get out of there, and then that way I don't have to hike into the night because it is so cold at night. Jeez. Wow. It might be cold as hell and super hard work walking through all this snow, but man, it's really nothing more beautiful than being in the mountains when there's been a fresh layer of snow. Frozen water. Taking the Sheep's Creek Trail down right now. It's not official CDT, but it drops down to below 10,000 feet because the CDT follows this ridge line at like 11,000, 11,500 for another 11 miles, and it's gonna be dark in an hour, so I'm gonna drop down in elevation and camp below 10,000 feet. So that'll make a world of difference in how cold it is tonight. And yeah, this time of year, you gotta make a lot of decisions like that, because just following the official trail out here in Colorado, it's not a good choice when there's snow and it's single digits at night. Look at this, some flat, dry ground for camp. Pretty exhausting day. Walking through snow is just, yeah, exhausting. So it's nice to have a dry place to camp, and it's really not too cold right here. I'm gonna sleep with my shoes in my sleeping bag so that they're not frozen tomorrow morning. All the water sources now are quite frozen. I think some more weather is coming in. Temperature has dropped again. Forecast call for some snow today, more tomorrow, and then getting really cold again tomorrow with like a high in the 20s and a low again in the single digits. I think it's interesting with as cold as it is and all the snow that is still not as bad in reality as what I had imagined when I was looking at the forecast, and it was calling for like highs in the 20s, lows in the single digits, and then all of this snow. So that's a cool thing about this year is you're out in a lot of conditions that just, if you were doing a normal hike, you wouldn't be, because you would choose your weather window to be more pleasant. But then you go out in it, and then you realize that it's not impossible, and not as bad as you feared. I mean, it's not great, especially waking up and it's like 10 degrees outside and you got to get snow off your tent and get going, but it's still doable. Just slower going, and it's all right. You can still make progress, and you won't die probably, and it's not impossible. It is really coming down now. Thankfully this stretch, it's just dirt roads, so not on top of the mountains, but in another 12-14 miles, gonna be 3 passes at 12,000 feet. So that might be interesting with as much snow as is coming. Well, this is going to be icy, and especially that part. Might be getting my feet wet. Well, let's see. This is not a good idea.
Damn it.
Come on. Aha! really deep now. See how it is up at 12,000 feet. This valley is pretty incredible. Just both sides, the mountains rising up so high. It's pretty exhausting walking. More snow, because there isn't enough right now. This is San Luis Peak over here, 14er. I'm going up the pass in the middle here. It's at 12.6. Climbed San Luis twice now. Not be a good idea today. Probably slide off the mountain to my death. There goes Walkie-talkie. Almost there. The snow is pretty deep up here. Almost at the summit. 12,600 is ridiculously hard. 4 straight hours of climbing. At the freaking top. 12,600 feet. It's probably about 10 degrees right now. Brutally hard. Beautiful. What do you think, Walkie-talkie?
Oh my gosh, it was so hard, but it's so close. Beauty and brutality. Woo!
Embrace the brutality. That's the CDT slogan. So that was more satisfying than any of the terminuses I've been to on any trail so far. 4 straight hours of climbing up that shit. Yeah, that's pretty satisfying. God damn, it's cold on this side with the wind. Hopefully drop down and get out of this wind. Be careful too, because this is pretty steep. Some of these traverses are pretty steep. You gotta be real careful not to slide all the way to the bottom of the mountain. It's a lot of snow. What'd you think of that sketchy?
Wow, it was sometimes up to here. Crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Woo! That was fun.
Wow. That's San Luis Peak, 14er, direction we came from. You get up and over that ridge before the sun sets. We're almost there. Oh my God. Oh my God, that is exhausting. And now, one more little traverse and you can start dropping down toward Creede. How you feeling?
Enough for today.
That was steep. Now we've got 2 miles, traverse around over there somewhere, over to Creede. It's just crazy beautiful and crazy hard. This is for sure one of the hardest days of this whole trip. I don't know about the hardest. I think Mahusik Nosh day, it took till 3 a.m. Probably harder, but it was rough, especially with it being so damn cold. It's probably single digits right now, wind chills in the negatives, and there's just so much snow. And you're at 12,000 feet, so that doesn't help either. Dark now. We're still got like 1.5 miles left before we can drop out of this. It's really hard. Top of the water, all frozen. This is the road down into Creede, Colorado. Recording on my phone because both of my camera's batteries died with the cold. Yesterday was super cold. Forecast said like high of 20, low of 9 or 8, something like that. And definitely as the sun set last night, it was some of the coldest I've experienced on trail this year, for sure. Like water, if I didn't keep it inside my clothes, it would just immediately start to freeze. And yeah, really challenging day, just trying to slog through all that fresh powder. Once we got up to about 11,500 feet, it was just non-stop, calf deep, knee deep. And then doing those traverses at 12,000 feet, it was sometimes hip deep and just super slow going. And also kind of sketchy because if you slip, then you're just going to slide hundreds of feet down. Probably not steep enough to kill you, but it wouldn't have been fun. But yeah, just happy to have Walkie-talkie there and go through that, because that took, we were thinking we'd be able to get to camp on this road before sundown, but it ended up being probably 4 miles there where you're going about 1 mile an hour. So that really slowed things down. And then finally came down, just totally exhausted. Hamstrings were cramping. I had eaten all my snacks in my fanny pack. It's incredible how much more energy you expend in the snow like that. But yeah, coming down, and on Gut Hook there's a marker for a campsite. It's supposed to be a really nice campsite. Let this guy go by. And found it. It's a big clearing at 100 feet on wide on either side, cleared out. And there's a big, probably a 15-foot by 10-foot tent there, and it's got a stove inside. You can tell it's going. And so we set up, or we're starting to set up on the other side of that clearing, so like 100 feet away under some trees. And then somebody in the tent pokes their head out with the headlamp, starts talking to us, and at first it seems like a fine interaction. He's like, "Oh, are you all through hiking on the CDT?" He's like, "Man, that's crazy. You're out this late with this weather and being so cold out." And we're like, "Yeah," thinking like maybe, oh, he said he was a through hiker too. So we're like hoping maybe he's gonna let us sleep in on the floor of his tent that's warm. And then he starts getting really weird. He starts saying, "Well, I've got 3 big dogs. They'll tear you up." And we were thinking he was like talking about if we slept inside the tent, and maybe he didn't want us sleeping in there. We never asked, but he kept saying that. And then he's saying, well, we're doing logging operations over where you guys are at. And he's saying, yeah, we're making like a winter camp up here. And then he finally comes out and says, yeah, you guys, you just can't camp here. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is public land. You know, it's one of the little pullouts camping that you find all along dirt roads on public lands. And so this is public land, like 100 feet away from him. And he's saying, no, you can't camp there. And he's using all these excuses and being mildly threatening with, I'm talking about his dogs, how they'll tear us up. And yeah, and I was just like, dude, like, this is public land. You can't just kick people off. And then he said, well, then he goes off, it's so late, hikers shouldn't even be out here. It's elk season, only hunters are out. And then he's saying, what else did he say? Just a bunch of stupid, nonsensical stuff. He's like, oh yeah, he said, oh, it's so late and dark. Y'all scared me when you walked in. Like, who cares? None of that matters. You're camped on public land. You don't own this. He's trying to act like this is his private property that he's going to kick us off of. So I didn't want to be, you know, around this guy. He seemed like he might be high on something and paranoid, and who knows if he's got weapons in there. This is, yeah, second bad interaction I've had, and people say you don't need a gun, but certainly the hitchhiking and this guy, I would love to have like my Glock 19 with me, just because you never know what these idiots are gonna do. But yeah, so I told him, like, fuck off. This is public land. Like, we're leaving just because we don't want to camp next to you. You don't have any authority to kick us out of here. And yeah, left and had to walk like another 2 miles down the road. And at this point, it's got to be getting close to single digits. Super cold, dark. And we finally find another little pullout and camp there for the night. But it's just another really bad experience. And kind of, yeah. So I'm gonna buy pepper spray next place that sells it. I'm tired of this bullshit. Like, at least I need to have some form of self-defense for these idiots out here. And yeah, going into Creede, I'm gonna let law enforcement know, because it sounded like he was setting up like a permanent winter camp right there. If he's threatening people and trying to claim private or public property and act like it's his private property, yeah, that's not right. So let law enforcement know and tell them to fuck off. Yeah, getting to Creede today. Need to try and find a motel there. I think it's a really tiny town, but try and find a room, because just need to unwind. Let all our stuff, everything's wet. Let everything dry out. Eat some good food. Continue on tomorrow. Be in a better mood. This road is pretty cool. Wow. Makes you feel really tiny. Level 5 super fun site. Pretty impressive what people built. This is the town of Creede.